Hello everyone, welcome back to Voidheart Studios, and today I'm going to be reviewing a blaster that... Okay, y'all have seen the thumbnail. I'm doing N-Series now. I tried to avoid N-Series because N-Series is very controversial in the community, and when it comes to the groupthink, you kind of have to, like, either be neutral within the groupthink or agree with the groupthink to really, feel like you build yourself a platform, or at least I thought so, but I'm finally going to say it now. I don't think N-Series sucks. Most of my opinions on this blaster are going to be positive. If you're not here for positive opinion, if you're here for N-Series slander, leave. I'm sorry, but leave. You will not be seeing N-Series slander in this video. This is going to be a relatively positive review of the N-Series Infinite. I do think Hasbro's decision to just start reshelling the Ward over and over again, that's not a good idea. That's not a great branding idea, but we've been kind of fearing this for a while, of the Hasbro realizing that they're pretty much mainly made for kids and their main audience is kids, so they're just going to kind of go for that. And N-Series is them kind of going for that. Like, the darts are big and they're squishy and they're soft, but the darts are fine, and I'm honestly glad they went for the bright orange darts, because they're a lot easier to find in the grass than, say, Nitro Plus half darts or Adventure Force waffles. But yeah, overall my opinion of N-Series is pretty high. I mean, I wish they, didn't move their entire thing to a new proprietary, almost ultra-esque dart, which is going to be patented, which means you have to buy Hasbro darts. But I'm sure there will be N-Series AccuStrike at some point when enough people complain about these darts being mildly inaccurate, which they aren't bad. N-Series, N1 darts are kind of in the, which N1 is the name of the darts, by the way. They kind of have the same issues that Mega Darts and Rival Rounds did. That being, if you put too much power behind them, they become a lot more wily and inaccurate. But out of the Infinite, they're actually not too bad. Whenever I did my range testing, a lot of my shots went relatively straight. I only had a couple of flyers out of the, I think, 20 shots I fired out there. But yeah, this is the Infinite. Let's talk about the Infinite. The Infinite is a really cool looking blaster. I really like the aesthetic of the Infinite. I like the aesthetic of N-Series, just being very spacey looking blasters. I mean, the very bright, childish colors, we knew it was coming. So, whatever. But yeah, it's the Infinite. It is a spring-powered pump action blaster, and yeah, this thing is really interesting if you've never seen it before. So up at the front, hold on, actually, let me fire it real quick. Up at the front, you have a muzzle. There is no N-Strike barrel lug. This is not an N-Strike blaster. N-Series is actually working on their own Modulus adjacent series called Loadout, and it is it's essentially Modulus, and they will have a proprietary barrel lug and a proprietary, well, actually they do have N-Strike stock lugs, if I recall correctly. I don't have one of the blasters. The only one that's released so far is called the Shadow Speed, which is an N-Series agility reshell. So might not pick that one up. I might pick that one up. It's really cool. It's a pump action agility, so it's a 6-round revolver pump action, which is kind of nice, kind of interesting, kind of neat, kind of funky. But yeah, no barrel lug though for the Infinite. Down at the bottom here you have the priming grip. It is pump action. Up at the top you have an N-Strike tactical rail. For some reason, like, they kept some aspects of the N-Strike system from Elite 2.0 when they went from Elite 2.0 to N-Series. They kept some of the aspects, and even then they're getting rid of the N-Strike tactical rail with their new Loadout series, because Loadout is all... It almost looks like Picatinny rail, which I want to get... I want to get one of the Loadout blasters just to... I mean, I might get the Shadow Speed just to see if it is Picatinny. Because if it is Picatinny, that's actually kind of a good move. And makes me wonder why they didn't do Picatinny with the Nerf Pro series. But yeah. The rail is fine. The pump grip is fine too. I mean, I have big gorilla hands and I can fit the pump grip pretty well. On this side only, there is a jam door which can be open whether or not the blaster is primed, which is pretty cool. And it gives you a nice little sight of the pusher breech. This blaster is a pusher breech. That's a pro blaster thing. This thing's funky. Also, it's like one of the most moddable N-Series blasters. Being chain fed helps it. And yes, it's actually chain fed. That actually helps it with its modability because it's easy to convert to short darts by just modifying all the links of the chain and then modifying the breech. And this thing's pretty mean if you upgrade it good, from what I have heard. I'm going to keep mine stock for now, just because, don't have the time nor the resources for getting all the stuff to mod this thing to take shorties. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, the chain. This is not a mag. This is a chain. See? It doesn't like going backwards. But yeah, it's a chain. And it also has dart storage in the front. The chain itself is 40 rounds, and it has 16 rounds of dart storage in the back. And to load up the chain, you just do this with your darts. It's kind of unique, honestly, in a way, to have an encased chain. So it's not, it's not flip-flopping around anywhere, and I mean, for a children's toy, it's nice to not have something that children can, yeah. You do have to have it primed if you have a dart in the top, in the topmost link. But yeah, an enclosed chain can be nice. I mean, it's one less thing for children to strangle each other with. Yeah. Back here is your unjamming button. So you press that, and it allows you to prime it back, which I don't know how that would help you unjam a pusher breech, because the barrel is way up in here, and so, yeah, I don't know. If the top link of the chain is empty, you can just put it in without priming it. But you do have to prime it back if you have a dart in the topmost link. Yeah, let's go back to the grip here, which the grip is fine. It's an awkward kind of thumbhole grip, thumbhole stock, but it's not too bad. And the magazine release is way up here. Like, the mag release, I don't like. I don't like the mag release. It's a mag release on a chain-fed blaster because the chain is in a shroud that makes it look like a mag. Hasbro. Hasbro, please return my sanity. Please return my sanity when I talk about your blasters. Like, I can't lose my sanity any more than I did with the Torrent being the ergonomic mess that it is, and the sender just being absolutely deplorable. But yeah, this mag or chain release is in a weird place because it's not comfortable for your main hand to, you know, just bump release it with like your index or middle finger. Hell, my index finger can't even push it far enough back. I have to use my middle finger and then pull out the mag or the chain. But you also can't comfortably grab it. You also can't comfortably strike it with your chain grabbing hand. So like, if you're trying to swap chains, you kind of have to just take your hand off the trigger, press this with your thumb, and then pull out the chain. So it's just a weird blaster in all. Then back to the stock. The stock is fine. It's a bit short for my liking, but it's a toy blaster made for kids, and I'm sure the hobbyists who do intend to mod the hell out of this thing will find a fix for that stock. I mean, there's a fix for there's a 3D printed kit for the X-Shot Fury's lack of stock. There's a 3D printed kit for the Siren Blink's lack of stock, which I do need to get a Blink at some point. Might try to get a Blink in maybe August, September? I don't know. Depends on when the piston pump decides to release, because X-Shot's being funky. Well, no. Walmart and Target are being funky with the piston pump. X-Shot's trying to release it as quick as they can, but Walmart and Target are just being finicky with it. But yes, as soon as I get my hands on a piston pump, I will review it. And so, yeah. I think that's all I really have to cover for the Infinite in terms of body. So, let's take it outside and plink. We are out on the range. The sun's beating down on me. And this is take number 3 because I can't stop being harassed by hornets. They seem to be gone. Oh, there's a little dragonfly. Yeah. The hornets seem to be gone for now. So let's get on with the firing demo of the Infinite. Weird. Blasters do not like the hot weather, and especially with how humid it is in Texas, I honestly don't blame this thing for jamming. Alright, I just had to deal with a couple of bad jams. I don't blame this on the Infinite, because I can run the Infinite without jamming. But with how hot and humid it is, foam darts do not like heat and humidity, and so yeah. So I think what I'm going to do is, for future reviews, I think I might start trying to find a way to do my my firing demos inside for the summer, because yeah, I mean, I just had another jam. And again, this isn't the fault of the Infinite. This is not a fault of this blaster. This blaster can run without jamming. It is a fault of the heat and the humidity, because when foam is in contact with heat and humidity, it expands. And when foam expands, it creates friction issues, and it creates feeding issues in blasters. Holy chrome, that is a loud ass truck. Oh, it's a gravel truck. Maybe they'll finally fix all the potholes. But yeah, this is not a fault of the blaster. Just know that. It is not a fault of the blaster. It is a fault of the heat. And this would likely be an issue with, yeah, see? It's completely jammed up. I have to ramrod it out with a twig or something. This would happen even with pro blasters. So just know that the Infinite is not normally this unreliable. It is not normally this jammy. Actually, let's shove this. So yeah, see that? That's the heat. It's causing the foam to be soft, to be more squishy, to expand, and it's jacking up all my darts. Can we fire the last dart against all odds? Okay, it primed. Against the heat. Can we fire the last dart? We fired the last dart. Let's go. All right. I'm gonna go collect my darts, and then we'll go inside and I will talk about my thoughts, as well as chronograph stuff. All right. I am back inside with the Infinite. Let's first talk about the chronograph results. I put the Infinite over this cute little guy. and I got an average of 88 feet per second over 10 shots, which hits a little low for the N series FPS par, which is around 95 to 110 from what I've seen. And yeah, but what it loses in FPS, it makes up for by just having. Oh, did I jam it? I jammed it. Some of these darts came from outside, so wait. Can I unjam it with a Kuriaka barrel? I can't unjam it with a Kuriaka barrel. Could probably put a Kuriaka barrel in it and it would help. Well, maybe not, considering the darts are larger. But yeah. Come on, hey, this isn't doing good for your track record. No, I haven't had any issues with it jamming outside of today, in which it's just brazenly hot, and that causes issues with foam darts. It causes them to expand, it causes them to get more squishy, because it's hot and it's humid, and all that moisture in the air gets absorbed by foam, because foam is essentially a sponge. It's what sponges are made of. I mean, you're walking around with 40, well, 56 if you counted the 16 in the front. Yeah, because it does have dart storage in the front for 16 darts. If you count, those, you're just walking around with a bunch of tiny sponges on your person. When the air is full of moisture, it's going to affect the darts. So, yeah, I wouldn't recommend plinking with this outside when it's hot, just for that reason, that it does have that issue of, I mean, you can't really stop people from playing outside even when it's hot, unless your group just has common sense. So it isn't a fault of the Infinite. You are most likely, if you get an Infinite, you are most likely going to have an Infinite that feeds pretty smooth. It just, the foam darts don't like humidity, which here in Texas, it gets really, really humid in the summertime. And it's the middle of, well, it's late June right now, so we're getting, I mean, jeez. I mean, it's only gonna get worse. It's gonna be hot and humid all summer, and I might try to figure out a way to do my firing demos inside and still have them be relatively impactful. But until then, we'll just have to suffer with it. But yeah, anyways, what are my final thoughts? Overall, it's a fun blaster, fun to mess around with, fun to plink with. The darts aren't overly accurate, but Hasbro dart is. So, once they get enough complaints about bad accuracy, then maybe we'll get N-Series AccuStrike, and we'll have a more accurate N1 dart, probably. And then your dreams of an accurate Infinite will soon be achieved. Or you can just convert this thing to half darts, because from what I've heard, it's not terribly hard to do. You just have to bypass the 50 screws in this blaster and get inside it. And then at that point it's just a spring upgrade, a breech upgrade, and well, you have to upgrade the chain too. You have to modify the chain to be able to take half darts. But aside from that, it's a good blaster. I enjoy it, and I think it's good. Again, and I hate to iterate this for a third time, the jamming issues I had outside was not the fault of the Infinite. It is not the fault of the N1 darts specifically. It is the fault of firing foam darts outside when it's incredibly humid. Because humidity and darts hate each other. They don't just like not mix. Humidity and darts hate each other. Because the water gets in the darts, it makes them more squishy, it makes them more, makes them expand. So then oftentimes it causes feeding issues. It causes feeding issues with mags, it causes feeding issues with chains. I mean, the only way to probably not have feeding issues in the humidity is if you have like a revolver or a smart AR and you just knew that, but yeah. Anyways, I enjoy it. I like the blaster. I think it's fun. And if you did enjoy this video, then please do leave a like and subscribe. Comment your favorite N-Series blaster. And speaking of comments, if this video blows up, which it won't, but if something happens and I do get a lot of commenters, please keep your discussion civil. I know there's a lot of people who like to just slander N-Series and slander Hasbro. And while I do agree some of it is deserved, they've definitely made some crappy sales decisions with this line. Don't go crazy with the Hasbro hate in the comment section. If you would, for me, just if there is discussion about N-Series in my comment section, keep it civil. That's all I can ask. Because at the end of the day, Hasbro's a massive corporate entity. They're going to do what they're going to do, and nothing we say matters. That's how it is with large corporate entities. I mean, they do what gives them money, and right now, N-Series is their cash cow, because kids like it, parents like that their kids like it, I'm sure. But yeah, if you did enjoy this video, then please leave a like, subscribe, algorithm nonsense, comment your favorite N-Series blaster. Mine is the Strike Back. And I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!